Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Let me ask you something real quick. Ever feel like you've been branded? Like your whole squad, your family, everyone knows you as the quiet one, or the hothead, or the flaky friend. And you're sitting there, maybe late at night, thinking, damn, is this just me forever? Am I stuck with these settings? It's a heavy feeling, right? Like you're trapped in a character you didn't fully choose. Well, today we're diving deep into a question that's honestly pretty wild. Can you actually change your personality? And I'm not talking about faking it till you make it. I'm talking about rewiring the motherboard. The answer might straight up blow your mind. Let's get it. Okay, so for the longest time, the OG psychology experts were like, nah fam, you're cooked. There was this huge idea that by the time you hit like age 30, your personality was set in plaster. Game over. If you were neurotic at 25, you'd be neurotic at 65. That's a major bummer, right? But hold up, science is always leveling up. In the last couple of decades, modern neuroscience and psychology dropped some new data that totally busted that old myth. The new consensus? You are not stuck. You are way more flexible than you think. To understand how this works, we got to talk about something called neuroplasticity. I know, sounds like a big $50 word, but it's actually simple. Your brain isn't hardwired like an old laptop. It's plastic. Not Barbie plastic. I mean, it's moldable. It changes based on what you do. Think of your brain like a massive forest. Every time you think a thought or do an action, you're walking a path in that forest. Let's say you're someone who always gets mad stressed when things go wrong. You've walked that stress path a million times. It's a 6-lane superhighway in your brain now. Your brain automatically goes down that road because it's easy. That's your personality. But neuroplasticity means if you start intentionally taking a different path, forcing yourself to chill or looking for a solution instead of panicking, you start beating down the grass on a new trail. At first, it's hard. It feels fake. But the more you walk that new path, the wider it gets. And guess what happens to the old superhighway? It starts getting overgrown with weeds because you aren't using it. Your brain literally physically changes shape based on your habits. That's wild, right? Okay, the science is cool, but let's keep it 100. What does this actually look like in real life? Because nobody wakes up tomorrow and is suddenly a whole new person. It's about the slow drip. Let's say you feel like you're too introverted, maybe even socially anxious. You see people mingling at parties and you're like, I wish I had that riz. But your current setting is to hide in the corner on your phone. You don't try to become the loudest person in the room overnight. That's setting yourself up for an L. You use what psychologists call volitional change. Basically, you gotta want it. You set a tiny goal. Every time I go out, I will start one conversation that lasts 2 minutes. That's it. When you do that, your brain, that little anxiety center, the amygdala, starts freaking out. But you do it anyway. And you survive. Your brain goes, oh wait, we didn't die. You do that 20 times over 6 months. Suddenly, that old hide-in-the-corner pathway is getting rusty, and the new I can handle small talk pathway is open for business. You aren't faking being social, you are training your brain to be comfortable being social. Or maybe your vibe is just chaotic. You're always late, your room looks like a tornado hit it, you lose your keys 5 times a day. You tell yourself, I'm just a messy person. That's cap. That's a lie you sold yourself. You don't have a messy personality. You have messy habits. Don't try to Marie Kondo your whole life in a weekend. You change your environment to hack your brain. You put a literal bowl by your door. The rule is, keys live in the bowl. Period. You start using the 2-minute rule. If a chore takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. You aren't changing your soul, you're just creating new loops in your brain. Eventually, you stop being the person who loses keys, and you start being the disorganized person who has their act together. Look, here's the bottom line. Can your personality change? Hells yeah, it can. The science backs it up. The big 5 personality traits, things like how open you are or how conscientious you are, they drift throughout your whole life. But it ain't magic, and it ain't quick. If you're waiting to just wake up different, you're going to be waiting forever. You got to put in the reps. It's mental gym work. Don't let nobody, not your parents, not your ex, not even that little voice in your own head, tell you that you're stuck being who you were yesterday. You're the main character here. If you don't like the script, rewrite that joint. If you're feeling this, smash that like button and subscribe. I want to hear from you in the comments. What's one setting on your personality dashboard you're trying to change right now? Let's chop it up down there. Until next time, keep growing. Peace.